Welcome into the BRSN Insider on the Benedictine Ravens Sports Network. I'm sitting down with head coach Henry Brun of the Benedictine College track and field team. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
This afternoon. You guys competed in the Fred Bailey Classic this past weekend, put up some good numbers, some school records, Phil, and you met some national qualifying standards.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good season overall, and this past weekend was a tune-up for this upcoming weekend's Heart of America Indoor Conference Championships, and we wanted to see some good marks, improve on some performances going into the conference championships, and I think we definitely exceeded expectations overall.
One of the big names this weekend was Will Wallace. First of all, running the 400 and the 600, qualifying for nationals in that 600, an event he just started running.
Yeah, we ran last week at the Jayhawk Classic at University of Kansas in a distance medley relay, and he ran the 400-meter leg in that. Had an exceptional split in the 400 meters. And we decided to take a shot at seeing if the national qualifying standard was something within his reach in the 600. Put together a training strategy throughout the week and went out there and executed and definitely hit the mark, and was pretty excited about that.
Now he's a senior. What have you seen from him since you've been here?
Work ethic. I want to say that he is probably the biggest workhorse we have on the team. He's one of our top hurdlers. He's 1/10 of a second away for qualifying in 60 hurdles as well. And if he had his way, he would be competing in the hurdles, training for the hurdles literally every day in practice. He makes sure that he gives 100% on the track every time he's out there.
You had Bob Bardish break a school record this weekend too. What have you seen from him?
Bob Bardish has come up pretty strong in the past few weeks here in the 800 and also in the 1,000. Him along with John Danner, who's a sophomore on the team, are both doing exceptionally well in the mid-distance, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do in those mid-distance events this weekend at conference. One of them may walk away with, yet again, another school record in the 1,000 meters and hopefully a conference title in the event as well.
Now on the flip side, on the women's side, Hannah Pinkerton had a really nice weekend herself.
Yeah, things are coming along for her. This senior year, she's had a lot of pretty good performances, starting with the 800 back in December. Put her in the 1,000 this past weekend. She hit the qualifying standard as an individual, so it'll be her first time going to nationals as an individual outside of the relay duty that she's been doing the past couple of years. And the women's team as a whole has been looking pretty strong from the mid-distance, which is the core. The sprints have really come together, and we've got some few pieces here in the field events that are really putting it together for something strong next week.
And then you have a returner who's been very solid for you in Catherine Dillard. She improved on her mile time, already met the B standard. What have you seen from her?
A lot of things for her at that level. You're really just trying to fine-tune the smallest of things. Because when you know you're competing at the national level, you're trying to figure out what is still going to help me drop a 10th, what's still going to help me drop a second here or second there. And so it's really just trying to find those type of things in order to get her not only to the podium, which is something that she's definitely going to be able to do at the national level, but to see how high up on that list she can get and if she can come home with potentially a national title under her belt.
Now, you have the Hart Championship Conference Tournament matchup coming up this weekend. What are your expectations going in for it, both on the men's side and the women's side?
On the men's side, with the realignment of the conference, now that there's 13 teams, it's going to be pretty tough. We have a lot of strengths in the mid-distance, some sprints, some field events, but we don't really have the depth that some of the other teams do. I would like to see us at a top 3, top 4 performance, which would be pretty solid for the first year with all the new teams. And just see a couple of the relays do well, some individuals come home with some individual titles would be really nice.
Individually speaking, for that men's side, what would you like to see? Like, see Will hit the podium, maybe win an event?
I think Will has the opportunity to definitely win the 600. He's seeded number 1 going into the meet. I'd like to see some good performances, obviously, in the 1,000 with John Danner and Bob Bardish. Luke Fries, who's a senior on the team, who's done exceptionally well this year, school record holder in the mile, broke that a couple weeks ago. I'd like to see him come home with a title in the mile. And the relays with the 4x800 relay, the DMR, I want to see them do well. And the 4x400 men's relay has a legitimate shot at breaking the school record as well and being a top 3 finisher.
And then on the women's side, they have so much talent, so much. They've just been good, and they could possibly have a chance to bring home a championship.
Yeah, it's close. We've done some projected scoring throughout the week. We finally got our entries in to see where we all stand. And if things go well, we stay healthy for the next few days, and we go in with the right mindset, the women could bring home the first ever track conference title in school history, which would be pretty nice. We're really going to have to do our best in scoring in most of the events that we're competing in, from the short end sprints all the way to the long end sprints, and then the very few field event people that we have. and I think we can pull it off with the right mindset. I mean, everyone's looking pretty good to practice this week, and so we're going to see what happens when we get there on tomorrow morning.
And on the women's side, individually, what are you looking for out of certain people like Hannah Pinkerton and Catherine Dillard?
Hannah Pinkerton, Catherine Dillard will do well in their respective events. Hannah Wandra, who is top 5 in the country in the 800-meter run, should do well in her respective events. Lucy Layton is going to be a crucial point scorer for us in the mile and doing relays. On the sprint side, we have Claire Nora Bingaman, who do the sprints. They do some hurdles. Our women's 4x400 meter relay is seated 2nd in the conference, and I honestly think with how deep the conference is, it's going to come down to that last event on how well we do in that 4x400 meter relay.
Of course, following the conference tournament, you have the national championship. With your athletes that will be competing in the national championship, what kind of steps will you take to get them prepared?
For the athletes that are not competing in the national championship, we kind of reset a little bit, getting ready for the outdoor season. For those who are competing, kind of gauge the training specifically to the events that they're doing individually. We have some ladies that are individually and in relays, so we're going to kind of cater to that for a little bit before we reset for them too, as we go outside for the outdoor season.
Awesome. Coach, we appreciate you sitting down with us. Head coach Henry Brun of the Raven Track and Field team on the BRSN Insider.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Build character for life at championsofcharacter.org.
Welcome back on the BRSN Insider. I'm sitting down with head coach Ryan Moody of the men's basketball team. Coach, thank you for joining us this afternoon. First of all, what we want to address is that the senior John Harris Jr. has gone down with a left leg injury. He didn't play in last night's game. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, unfortunately, John's been battling a stress fracture in his left leg since early January. We've tried to treat it, tried to get over it, but it unfortunately got worse. And it's at a point where it puts him at risk to continue playing, and it's a thing that's going to knock him out for the rest of the year. It's several weeks, 6 to 8 weeks of non-weight bearing in a boot and in crutches. So feel really bad for John. I mean, he's put a lot of time and effort into his career at Benedictine and done some really special things. He's a tough guy. I mean, this isn't the worst thing that's ever going to happen to him. But, him and the guys take it pretty hard when they lose one of their own. So we're going to have to rebound and rally around John, and then rally around each other and find a way to either fill the hole or by committee do things a little bit better. So it's a tough situation, but injuries happen, and we'll have to get past it.
But you were without him against Graceland, a 74-60 loss the other night. Just talk about a little bit of how maybe that he was missing a little bit in the hole and maybe in the offense flow. Sean Fleming Jr. stepped up big for you last night, so did Thomas O'Connor.
Yeah, as far as the guys that played in the game last night, Graceland came out, had a ton of energy in the game, kind of mixed up their defenses between man and zone, and even mixed it up just a little bit within a possession. They started out in man and then finished in zone, and kind of threw us for a loop early. We did not shoot it in very well at all. Lack of making shots affected our defense a little bit, which shouldn't happen, but it does. You don't see the ball go in enough, and sometimes it's really hard to rally your energy level possession after possession. You put so much pressure on your defense when you're not scoring the ball to get stops to stay in the game. And we just couldn't do it in the first half, and they really got a great separation. I think it was 20, maybe 22 in the first half. The guys rallied in the second half and battled. We made more shots. We defended a little bit better. In the end, we turned it over 22 times, and in this league right now, in the heart, it has to be the best league in the country. I don't get to see all the other teams, but offensively, it's just everybody's so talented. If you don't score, or if you don't have enough possessions, meaning we gave the ball to them 22 extra times, it's going to be tough to win. And it's hard to win on the road. Our guys fought, but we came up short.
Yeah, like Coach said, the 22 turnovers, 21 points off the turnovers Graceland had. Going into Avila this weekend, what kind of adjustments do you think you need to make in these next couple of days of practice to make sure that doesn't happen again?
Well, I mean, we're going to have to get ourselves back doing the right things. I mean, the little small things, attention to detail. Our defense is not where it needs to be. We're not able to defend the dribble, and Avila is going to really put pressure on us. I mean, we're talking athletic and fast, and guys who like to break you down and get to the rim. Right now, that's a struggle for us. So we're going to have to figure it out in the next 2 days of how to keep the ball in front. We have to rebound a little bit better, and then the glaring one, we lose when we turn it over. You know, we've got to just be way more sharp with the ball, have much more efficient offense, and so. You know, I think we can do that. I think it's got to be a group effort. It's not one guy, and it wasn't one guy that went down that created that problem, and we were turning it over before. So we've just got to take care of the ball better and get back to playing the way we do. You know, inside-out basketball. The game doesn't have to be fast, but we're going to have to be really efficient on offense.
Last time against Avila, of course, at their place, took the loss in January. What things from that game would you like to translate over into this game, and maybe a couple things you want to fix?
Yeah, I mean, their pressure can change a game. They like to get after you. They deny in passing lanes. They trap. They just fly around. They don't have a lot of rules on defense. Their rule is play really, really hard and fast, and that can give you problems if you're trying to, run your sets and be very organized. So we're gonna have to handle that pressure. That's number one, and I thought we did that good in spurts down there. But it clearly affected us, and they're much better at it on their own floor. They're a very talented team, so we're going to have to get down and get back. They like to run. They're going to shoot it quick. So this is a kind of a war of wills again. I mean, the way we play is we kind of like to control possession, slow the game down just a little bit. They want to go faster. They want to get you into quick shots. They want to shoot it fast. So we need to control the tempo of the game, and we, like I said, we did that in spurts down there, but not enough. So we've got to have more of that.
Tempo-wise, do you think it starts in the backcourt with your guards, or just as a whole?
Oh, I mean, it's as a whole. It starts with getting great stops, making them slow down on offense. Where they're grinding 20 to 25 seconds of clock and maybe taking a contested jump shot to finish that possession. All right, so it starts on D, and then offense. We just have to have great possessions. I mean, really quick. Long shots are not good for us. If we can get to the rim in transition and score it, good for us. But we've got to do a better job of sharing the ball in the half court and making sure that we get great shots. That could be a 3, it could be a 2, it could be a post up. But when we do that, we're pretty good.
Sean Fleming Jr. speaking, was big for you the other night against Graceland. 16 points. He kind of stepped in and filled the role of John Harris Jr. a little bit. What are you looking for him down the stretch?
Well, I mean, he's our at this point playing our lone senior. I mean, the guy that's not going to be on the team next year, and so we're leaning on him for leadership, experience. He's played in a lot of games, but as far as position-wise, any of that, I think handling the basketball is going to be a committee thing. We all have to be better. Whether that's Sean Fleming, C.J. Vallejo, Austin Eckert, Baquan Clark, Thomas O'Connor. I mean, all these guys, even our bigs, Jake Shoniff. I mean, everybody's got to get better at just taking care of the ball and making great decisions. But as far as Sean, I mean, we look for him to lead. We look for him to play as hard as he can, make great decisions. When Sean's really good, he's playing under control and being smart, not really forcing it too much. And so we look for that on Saturday. We're going to need that out of him, somebody that uses that experience to make great decisions.
You talked about Thomas, just a freshman, dropped 11 points the other night. What have you seen from him growth-wise through this entire season?
Well, I mean, I think he's found his role a little bit. Early in the season when we got him in there, he would hunt shots. Now he's letting shots come to him a little bit, which is a better way to play, especially when you're a freshman. Go in there, do your job, defend real hard, try not to turn it over. And when you're open, and for him, a great shot for us is Thomas O'Connor open on the three-point line. It's a great shot for us. And so if he can find those, not hunt them, find them, that's a great shot for us, and that's what he's doing a little bit better of now, is just kind of letting the ball come to him and taking them when he gets a chance.
You guys get to come back home this weekend against Avila. Love playing inside the Ralph. The fans are loud. Just the kind of the atmosphere in the locker room when you guys get to play at home versus on the road.
Yeah, I mean, we love playing at home. We have some of the best fans. I would say the best student section and fans in general in the Heart, and we hear that from the other teams. I mean, they let us know that, their student sections, their coaches. So we're looking for a packed house. I mean, our girls are fantastic, 21-4 or whatever, and we're grinding. I mean, we're finding a way. And I'm very proud of these guys. It's a pink out. It's our breast cancer awareness game. And if you want a shirt, we're going to have them for sale. If you've got pink, men and women, wear it to the game. This is a big deal for us. My mom is a breast cancer survivor, and that's one of the main reasons we do it. There's so many people affected by cancer that we'd love to turn it into that. And it just helps our guys too. When there's a full gym, whether it's a pink out or red out or just a normal crowd, it's great for our guys to feed off the crowd and the energy, and we are a community, and you can sense that at our games, and we really love it.
Coach, thank you for joining
Thanks,
us this
Casey.
afternoon. Head Coach Ryan Moody of the men's basketball team on the BRSN Insider.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Build character for life at championsofcharacter.org.
Welcome back on the BRSN Insider on the Benedictine Ravens Sports Network. I'm sitting down with head women's basketball coach Chad Folsom. Coach, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Nice win the other night at Graceland, 85-65. Kristen Murphy had 18, Chayla had 11. Talk about the performance.
I think we really came out really strong in the beginning. The first half we were defending well. Our pressure was getting to them, forced a lot of turnovers. And our offense was really clicking. I thought we were setting great screens and getting a lot of open shots and of course knocking them down. So to go in the locker room up 31, we were doing a lot of good things in the first half. Second half we didn't come out as sharp as I would have liked to have seen us, but it's hard when you got that kind of lead. But it was a great effort and a great win yesterday for sure.
You guys were able to turn it on in the second. Any adjustments you made, a timeout or a stoppage to able to get them turned back on?
Well, in the second half, they made some runs. They hit some big threes. They shot the ball well. I think we gave them too many open looks there for a little bit. But talked about a few things they were doing, in their offensive schemes that we changed up a little bit. But, our team played well, and it was a great opportunity also to get everybody out on the court. We were able to get everybody on the floor and everybody some experience there on the road.
Chayla had 11. She moved into second place on the all-time scoring list for the women's basketball program. Talk a little bit about her and her success so far the last couple of years.
She's been, last year she was All-American second team, Player of the Year in the conference. Led us from start to finish, all last season and put up great numbers, eclipsed 1,000 points in her junior year. Doing great things again for us this year. I think this year though, teams when we go into games, their game plan is to try to slow her down. So she's seeing double teams, triple teams a lot. She's handling it well, making the kickouts and putting it in the right places. And she's hitting her outside shots. One thing too, I think this year she's got a few more weapons around her. So it takes a little bit of pressure off of her, but yeah, definitely steady. I mean, she's definitely a first-team all-conference performer again this year. She's one of the leaders in scoring in the conference, and night in, night out, just comes to work and plays extremely hard every day.
When teams game plan for her to double, triple team her, how do you counter that?
Well, one thing is we've got shooters all around her, so that makes it easy as far as she's a good passer when it gets into the post and is able to find the player spotting up, ready to shoot. She does a good job of that. We also do a lot of things too to try to get her away from the basket some, with our offense. So she's setting a lot of back screens and stepping out to the three-point line. And teams with bigger post players have a hard time chasing her out there at the three-point line, and she can definitely knock down that shot. So within our offense, I think it plays a lot to her strengths, her ability to play inside and outside. And like I said, we have a bunch of three-point shooters all around her. Makes it hard if teams do double. They're going to be giving up open shots on the outside.
Now the Lady Ravens completed the season sweep against Graceland University. Now upcoming is Avila. You beat them on their home floor already in early January. What are you looking for this coming weekend?
Well, they're a team that, they play a lot harder. I mean, their record's not been great so far, but they do get out and play hard. I think they really guard. They run like a 5-out offense. We don't see a lot of where they spread you out, try to attack off of cuts and dribble penetration. And they got a couple post players who've been scoring quite well for them underneath too the last several games and most of the season. So we just got done watching the film on them from last time, so there's definitely some things they did to us to try to slow down our offense and try to slow down, Chayla and other things. So we're going to put some plans together next couple of days to try to counter what they were doing. But they did have a game plan last time, and it took us a little while to adjust within the game, but hopefully we'll be ready if they come with that same strategy this time.
Haley Beard scored 12 against Graceland the other night. Talk about her coming into this program this year as a transfer and making a difference.
Yep, she's a Division I transfer from the University of Texas San Antonio, from Ozark, Missouri, where she was a first-team All-State performer in high school. Very good shooter, and can shoot it with the hand in the face, not afraid to put it in there. And I think she went through a little slump, I feel like, the last 2-3 weeks, but in the last week and a half, she's starting to get out of it again. She shot real well early. Of course, teams know about her now, so it's a little bit more difficult, but in the last 2-3 games, she's really getting her confidence back and knocking down some big shots for us.
Of course, this weekend against Avila, the Raven Strong game coming up. Talk a little bit about that.
Yep, it's a breast cancer awareness game where our proceeds from our gate, we're going to donate to breast cancer research and the KYAL Foundation. It's something with all women's basketball, NCAA, NAIA, all the way down, junior college. For a week's time, they all wear pink in their uniforms, and we have pink shooting shirts, pink shoelaces, and usually have a game at their home court that is there in honor of breast cancer research. And our game is this Saturday against Avila, so we hope that a lot of people come out and support that.
And speaking of playing here at the Ralph Nolan Gymnasium, in front of the home crowd, what's the atmosphere like in the locker room compared to an away game before you get ready to play at home?
We've been coming out ready to play. Our defense is, we've been playing well at home, of course. I think we're at 12-0 or 13-0 and haven't lost here at home. We get good crowds and we've got great parent support. They're coming and supporting the ladies. But I think just not having to get on a bus and drive wherever, I think we've gotten very comfortable coming in the locker room, getting ourselves ready, getting ready on the court, and be ready to play. And with a young team, the road sometimes is difficult, and it has been for us a little bit this year, but we definitely are comfortable playing here in Ralph Nolan Gymnasium.
Starting to get down the home stretch, heading into the conference tournament, especially with the home court advantage. How important is it to keep that home court advantage, and what do you guys need to do down the stretch to make sure that happens?
Well, we definitely got to keep playing well here at home, and we've got Avila this weekend. Next week we've got Baker, and the following week we've got Central Methodist. So, 3 more home games. We've got to definitely protect our home court. And then I think the last 2 or 3 road games we've come out and I thought played pretty well and brought the energy right from the beginning. So we've got a couple more road games too that we've got to be ready for. So our focus is always one game at a time and keep getting better each and every game. So that's our plan, and that's what we'll plan to do.
You've had a couple of freshmen step up big, couple of sophomores, Kristen Murphy, Lexi Villegas, Loranda Thomas step up pretty big coming in her first year. Talk about those 3.
Yep. Kristen was really, I think, getting more and more aggressive and playing, at the level we feel like she's capable of. She can shoot it, she can post, she can put it on the floor, has nice touch, and she's really been aggressive and scoring quite regularly for us lately. Lexi is just that tenacious defender, rebounder, gets after people and brings that, that spark on the defensive end, which we need, and she does a great job on that. And then Loranda Thomas, point guard, freshman coming in, she really plays with a lot of confidence. For a freshman, she doesn't show really that she is a freshman out there, and she does some good things, shooting the ball as well as taking it to the basket, and we've been finding ways to put her and Allie out there together and kind of play with 2 point guards, and she's been doing a great job for us too. What
role has Allie played in helping her progress as a point guard?
Well, Allie, I think, in her junior year now, has really become a leader for us, and she's shooting the ball well on the perimeter as well as taking it to the basket, and definitely been a mentor for our freshmen. All of our upperclassmen have done a great job mentoring the younger players this year, and I think they're really blending well as a team.
Coach, thank you for sitting down and taking some time with us this afternoon. Head coach Chad Folsom of the Lady Ravens women's basketball team.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Build character for life at championsofcharacter.org.